In this video, I'll be going over an example of background Go routines in your service and why they're super useful to use. What we've got here is we've got a service, quote unquote, a stub service. So we've just got the main file here. We've got a new database which has a bookings repo. So if we think of this service, it's essentially going to be a bookings microservice, right? So it handles bookings. So what I want to be able to do is if someone's about to place a booking, I want to lock that booking, right? And say, right, that's locked now. Someone's trying to book it. It'll be locked until you can place it, or after, I don't know, half an hour, right? It will unlock, right? So essentially, what we want to do is we want to spin up a background Go routine, which is what this does here, to go and unlock slots that haven't actually been booked in the end, right? So basically, like, when you click on a form and you go, right, I want to book this slot. We don't want anyone else to be able to book that slot while you're filling out that form, and this is what this background job does here, right? So what I've simply got is I've got a background package which I've wrote this little Go function in it, which spins up a routine and it calls a function, right? And I've just got a type just to kind of abstract this out. So we've got a clear API on how to use this package called jobFunc, which simply is a function. And then we simply defer and try to recover if this Go routine panics, right? So, and then again, we've got a simple bookings repo, which would have a method on it to go and delete temporary bookings, right? Because theoretically, we might have a table that stores temporary bookings in it, which aren't finished, that need to be cleared up, right? So let's get into the jobs side of this, right, where this Go routine stuff actually comes in. So what I've got here is I've got a jobs type, which is just going to have a bunch of methods on it, which are jobs in my service, right? So one of these jobs is a unlock slots job, right? What this does is it returns a background job function. So it's basically the signature, a type of job function, right? So I'm just simply returning a func, right? And I'm using the ticker in Golang. So basically what the ticker does is it writes to a channel every 5 seconds, right? So when this channel is written to, you can then obviously loop around it because it's blocking, and then it read out from that channel and it will run some code every 5 seconds, for example, right? So what this is doing is, very simply, I'm just calling my unlock bookings function, and obviously what this is naturally going to be doing is every 5 seconds we're just going to be trying to go and unlock those bookings in the database, which in this case is just simply going to be deleting from a temporary table, right? So why this is so powerful and useful is you would have your HTTP server spun up and you'd have endpoints, and you wouldn't want to have to do that on every endpoint, right? You wouldn't want to have to go and check if, say, you're going to go and try and book for a slot. You wouldn't want to have to, in your endpoint, do a check manually each time every request is the slot free, right? Or manually go and clean it up every request. So we just want a job in the background to sit there and go and do this for us, right? So essentially what we've got here is we've got the main thread, right, or the main routine, and we're just saying, on this main routine, go and spin up another routine that's just going to sit there and every 5 seconds go and delete temporary data, right? Technically it doesn't have to be 5 seconds, that's more for example purposes. Like for example, if I just very quickly go run main.go, see if this actually works. I haven't even tested this. You can see it's hanging, but is there any logging? Yeah, here we go. So it's been 5 seconds, and it's now attempting to unlock the stale time slots, right? Another 5 seconds, it would do that again, and this is just going to continuously sit there in the background on another Go routine, unlocking stale time slots in our bookings database, right? And this could be used for like a lot of things, right? For example, if you use a session-based authentication system, you might want a routine to be spun up to go and delete stale sessions. So if someone's not been active for half an hour and the session's inactive, you can go and delete that session from the database, right? And you can simply do that through a Go routine, right? So you don't have to have a background function like this. Like we could simply technically go and do something like, GoFunc, if I can even type, GoFunc, and then just go and do stuff here, and then, handle the defer and, recover this routine if it fails, because what we don't want is if this routine fails, we don't want the whole service to panic and be taken off, right? We want it just to recover and then try and continue again on their jobs, right? Or at least log out why it failed, and then we can, you'd get an alert or whatever, right? So a really nice abstraction for that for me was just to write a really quick package called background and have a go function on it, which would be our background function, and then we can just pass them in. So you could have a bunch of jobs here, unlock slots, I don't know, remove stale sessions, or like you might want an email sent every 3 hours if their booking's not finished or whatever, right? So yeah, just a very quick video to show off another use case of Go routines to anyone that's kind of new to Go routines. Again, this is the package. I'll leave this code in the description, so if you want to go and have a little poke around on what it's doing. I didn't go too in depth into like how this is working, I suppose, but hopefully this has helped you guys and given you another use case of Go routines at least. And like I say, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, I really appreciate like ratings. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you all later on. Nice and short one today, eh? Sweet.